Good morning, Salem Casters. Weird. Oh, I'm having just a hard time. Let me set this up again. Having a hard time today as we try to do anything. Trying to get this up and working. Nothing seems to be working very well today. Let's try this again. Share. I apologize, everyone, that this is taking... I've just had computer problems all day today. Share screen. Share window. Share. There we are. Finally. Okay, we're continuing our Bible study on the book of Acts, and I apologize. I've had just all sorts of problems online today. I don't know what the problem was. It just seemed like a phone call for the devotions, and now when I try to set this up, it doesn't change. Hopefully, it'll be fixed now. We're going to be talking about Acts chapter 25, and we know that the Jews in Jerusalem, some Jews in Jerusalem, are trying to assassinate Paul the same way they assassinated Jesus. Well, they didn't actually do that, but well, yeah, they did. But he was beyond it. If they assassinate Paul, he's not coming back until all of us come back. And they have a plot against him, and they are taking him to Festus for trial. So let's jump right into that. Paul's trial before Festus. 3 days after arriving in the province, Festus went up from Caesarea to Jerusalem. There the chief priests and Jewish leaders appeared before him and presented charges against Paul. They requested that Festus, as a favor to them, would have Paul transferred to Jerusalem, for they were preparing to ambush and kill him along the way. Now, I don't think they told Festus this, but that was their heart. That's what their plan was. Let's kill him. That's what these wonderful, wonderful church leaders were wanting to do. Festus answered, Paul is being held in Caesarea, and I myself am going there soon. Let some of your leaders come with me, and if the man has done anything wrong, they can press charges against him there. So he's not taking him to Jerusalem. He's going to Caesarea. After spending 8 or 10 days with them, Festus went down to Caesarea. The next day he convened the court and ordered Paul be brought before him. When Paul came in, the Jews who had come down from Jerusalem stood around him. They brought many serious charges against him, but they could not prove any of them. Well, could not prove them. Couldn't prove anything. Just their word. No proof at all. Now, I don't think this is back in Jesus' day. You know, we say you're innocent until proven guilty. They had no proof at all. All they had were accusations. Then Paul made his defense. I have done nothing wrong against the Jewish law or against the temple or against Caesar. Festus, wishing to do the Jews a favor, said to Paul, Are you willing to go up to Jerusalem and stand trial before me there on these charges? We just go there. Are you willing to put yourself in their hands? Duh. Paul answers, I am now standing before Caesar's court, where I ought to be tried. I have done nothing wrong to any of the Jews, as you yourself know very well. If, however, I am guilty of doing anything deserving of death, I do not refuse to die. But if the charges brought against me by these Jews are not true, no one has the right to hand me over to them. I appeal to Caesar. Now, this is something important. I appeal to Caesar. Caesar. Now, this is the really one thing that that the Roman system failed. Okay, any any Roman citizen can appeal to Caesar, which means that nobody else is a judge. You go directly to Caesar. The problem is you have to be taken to Caesar, and that could be a very long time in jail waiting to be taken for Caesar to hear your plea. And that's why Paul will remain in jail for a very long time. But at least in Roman hands, he will not be killed as the Jews want him to be. After Festus had conferred with his council, he declared, "You have appealed to Caesar, and to Caesar you will go." He had no choice. Paul was a Roman citizen, and they had no choice. They had to send him on. I told him that it is not the Roman custom to hand over anyone before they have faced their accusers and have had an opportunity to defend themselves against the charges. When they came here with me, I did not delay the case, but conveyed the court that the next day they ordered the man to be brought in. Then his accusers got up to speak. They did not charge him with any of the crimes that I had expected. Instead, they had some points of dispute with him about their own religion, about a dead man named Jesus who Paul claimed was alive. I was at a loss how to investigate such matters, so I asked if he would be willing to go to Jerusalem and stand trial there on these charges. But when Paul made his appeal to be held over for the emperor's decision, I ordered him held until I could send him to Caesar. There's no way of proving anything that he says. They're talking religion, they're not talking crimes. He's done nothing wrong in the eyes of the state. And when I asked him, "Will you let these people who want to kill, let's just throw you to the lions?" And he said, "No. Oh, I have no choice but to send him." But he had no choice anyway. What a weak leader this Festus was. You should have just let him go right then and there because he had no proof. Then Agrippa said to Festus, "I would like to hear this man myself." He replied, "Tomorrow you will hear him." So Paul goes before Agrippa. The next day Agrippa and Bernice came with great pomp and entered the audience room with the high-ranking military officers and prominent men of the city. At the command of Festus, Paul was brought in. Festus said, "I am King Agrippa, and all who are present with us. You see this man. The whole Jewish community has petitioned me about him in Jerusalem and here in Caesarea, shouting that he ought to not live any longer. I found that he has done nothing deserving of death, but because he has made his appeal to the emperor, I decided to send him to Rome." He didn't have any choice. King Agrippa had to. He's a Roman citizen, had no choice, had to send him to Rome. Now, once again, I would have let him go. No, you tried to get. Once he makes the appeal to Caesar, he's got to go to Caesar. They have no choice. King Agrippa could have let him go and could have said, "Well, if I find that you've done nothing deserving death," and he could have just let him go and asked him if he wanted to continue his thing. But he doesn't. He sends him to Rome anyway. "But I have nothing definite to write to His Majesty about him. Therefore I have brought him before you all, and especially before you, King Agrippa, so that as a result of this investigation I may have something to write. For I think it is unreasonable to send a prisoner to Rome without specifying any charges against him." No, they have no charges, but he has to go to Rome. We have to send him to Rome. Have nothing. There are no charges, but we'll do it anyway. Well, that's the way. Done nothing wrong, but well, that's just the way he was. And that's where we are. Paul is on his way. Festus found nothing. King Agrippa found nothing. And now he's on his way to Caesar. After Acts chapter 26 will be in 2 weeks. Remember that we will be taking next week off as I go on vacation and going to be with my family for a while and take a summer break. So we'll see you in 2 weeks when we go to Acts chapter 26. I hope you've enjoyed this one. This was kind of fun. As you can see, doesn't matter what's right. Jewish people will. Doesn't matter what the facts are. They seized Jesus and killed him, and now they're trying to do the same with Paul. But Paul had the ace in the hole, appealing to Caesar because he was a Roman citizen. Okay, see you next week. God bless you.